Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you 4 different examples of what you should not do when you land in Flight Simulator. I'm just trying to give you a few tips how to get better landings, so let's get started. Okay, so as you see, we're on final approach into Toronto Pearson's International Airport in Canada, near the US border. And this plane is, by the way, a freeware Boeing 737-800. I'll give you the link in the description below so you can see where you can download this plane. This example, we're going to first take a look at a rapid descent and low airspeed. The nose has dropped to prevent a stall and the plane is rapidly descending towards the ground. Pilot realizes his mistake, lifts the nose up, applies a lot of power to the engines, quite a bit, about 70%. But instead of going around, he decides to land. And as you see, the aircraft gains altitude. Pilot pulls back on the throttles and dips the nose, and this is something that you should not do. You should rather go around and try again. So let's take a look at this here. Pilot continues the approach. The plane comes with a runway threshold, but as you see, it's still a bit high. Since this is a long runway, it doesn't really matter, but if you land on a shorter runway, it can be critical. As you see, the pilot probably missed the touchdown zone by a few hundred feet. So just as a tip, if you find yourself in this situation, you should rather go around instead of climbing and then putting the plane to a dive to reach a touchdown zone. In the second example, we're going to be taking a look at a non-flap landing attempt. Many people believe landing with no flaps will offer a smoother landing and a better approach, but that's not quite true. As you see on the speed, we're coming in at nearly twice the speed of the previous example. And the 737, you shouldn't, with this type of middle-sized aircraft, you shouldn't be over 150 knots on landing. On a bigger one, you might have to come at 180 knots, but this one, about 140 is okay. But 240, that's 100 times more, 100 knots faster than required. So you can see we're coming the plane is quite low, traveling way too fast. The pilot also misses the center line. He flares. Touchdown also a bit late. And now take a look. Despite the spoilers, reverse thrust and applying the brakes, take a look how long it takes the aircraft to stop. As you see, the landing distance is about twice as long as the previous example, maybe even more, and you can see we're running out of runway. Luckily, this is a rather small plane and the runway is long, so we're able to stop, but still, it really was a close call, and in real life, this would probably lead to runway overrun because Flight Simulator is not that realistic, unfortunately, so tip, landing with no flaps is a bad idea. You can, if you're landing with little fuel, like almost no fuel, you can select flaps 15 or 20 for approach, mostly 30, but no flaps. That's not a good decision to land with no flaps. As you can see, it led to almost a runway overrun, and we missed the center line and stopped before the end of the runway, just before the end. So use flaps no matter in which kind of situations you're landing at. So with jets, or mostly with jets, just use the flaps, and there are good advice videos where you can on YouTube where you can learn how to use the flaps, so check those out. In this final example, we're going to take a look at a pretty often occurrence in YouTube videos, which you see here, and that is using the spoilers on short final. This is an absolute no-go if you're planning to become a pilot or if you're just trying to make a good landing. As you see here, the pilot is putting the plane into grave danger. He's putting it into a dive to make the runway, although he is far too high. Best idea is really just to go around and give it another shot, because as you see, it's not a stabilized approach, and the aircraft is still too high, and the speed is increasing as the plane is nose down towards the ground, and this can also lead to a crash or to a runway overrun. We have clear weather with no headwind or tailwind, but if we do have stormy weather, this can such a maneuver can have a dramatic effect on the landing and on the handling of the plane. So here it doesn't look bad now. The pilot is in line of the runway, but he is still too fast, so he misses the touchdown zone by a few hundred feet like in the beginning. Touchdown, reverse thrust, brakes, and flight and ground spoilers are deployed, and the plane slows down. This it was a good landing, but nevertheless, don't dive towards the runway on approach, because it won't result in a better landing. Okay guys, and now to end this video, I just like to, as a tip, just give you another tip. This is an example again. The aircraft is too high, and the pilot is forcing the aircraft down again. But this time he's wise enough to know that he's doing a mistake. And then, if this is so, if you're too high, too fast, or not in line of the runway, the best thing is just to pull back on the stick, apply takeoff power, toga, retract the landing gear, pull the nose up, and go around, fly away, and come back and try the approach again. That's the best tip, and also real pilots do this too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.